Okay, you're good.
All right, folks, this is Rabble Rousin Rick Bergeron. We're here with Ryan Couture here at Xtreme Couture out here in Las Vegas, and we're going to have an interview here, ask him a couple questions. You got a fight coming up on Strikeforce, right?
Yep, Friday night.
Friday night? And who are you fighting?
Fighting Lee Higgins. He's based out of Houston. He's 2-0, good jiu-jitsu guy, so looking forward to a good challenge in there.
All right, awesome. And what do you know about this guy?
He's 2-0, both wins are first-round submissions, so he's definitely dangerous on the ground. He seems to be a real aggressive guy, and I think he's going to bring the fight to me.
All right, cool. So what's your ultimate goal in the sport?
I just want to continue having fun and growing and improving as a fighter, and see how far I can take it.
And when did you actually start getting interested in fighting?
I've been a fan for over a decade, since Dad started fighting. I took an interest and followed his career, and then through that, just became a big fan of the sport in general, and followed it on a wider scale. It wasn't until about 4 or 5 years ago that I actually started training myself, just as a hobby, and the more I did it, the more I loved it, and it ended up here in Vegas and training full-time and fighting.
Cool. Now, did your dad ever try to discourage you, or was he always, happy about what you were getting into? Or?
He's always been really supportive just of me doing what I want to do and what makes me happy. So, I think in a lot of ways he's excited just that we have this kind of thing in common now, and it's a good feeling about and able to do something he loves so much as well. But the short answer is no, he never tried to talk me out of it.
There you go. So do you actually train with him? Do you get to?
Not terribly often. Usually if he's in the gym, it's because he's got his own fight coming up, and so he's got to focus on getting there and mix it up with the big guys to get prepared. But on those occasions when we do get to work out together, it's always really fun. I have a good time training with him.
Did you get the better of him ever?
No, I don't think I ever will, probably.
Yeah, right. But so, what is your concentration when you get ready for a fight? What's the most important thing you do to prepare?
I just think getting on a good schedule, getting a routine, and sticking to it is best for me. That way I'm not missing workouts, and everything's real well structured for me. That way I know I can kind of measure my progress and make sure I'm in the right kind of shape, and that the techniques are coming along in the way that they're supposed to. So I think the biggest thing for me is just sticking to that structure, and that keeps my mind right and gets my body where it needs to be.
Cool. Now, what do you love most about the sport of MMA?
Just the variety of different challenges, both physical and mental, that it provides. I feel like I'm able to learn something new almost every day that I'm in here, and push myself to the limit frequently, a few times a week in training, and especially on fight night, to go out there and see all that hard work pay off is a big deal.
And do you have a favorite fighter out there that you watch and try to emulate at all?
There's a lot of guys I've always liked watching. A lot of my teammates here at the gym, actually, I get to train with Tyson Griffin, Gray Maynard, Martin Couture, Bergeron, Mike Kyle. These guys are all guys I've been watching for years, and I've always looked up to. So to get to be shoulder to shoulder and ear sweating and moving with them is great. That makes it that much more fun to cheer them on fight night.
Do you have a favorite style or submission that you like to go for?
My favorite submission's always been the triangle choke. So that's definitely something I'm always looking for in fights on the ground. But I definitely say as far as styles go, my submission game has been what I've been most comfortable with. That's where all my wins have come. So I'd say that's one of my preferences as well.
Right. Now, I know your dad at one point had some difficulty with the UFC, left, came back. Does that have anything to do with why you're in Strikeforce, or just happened that way?
When we were looking around for what promotion to make my pro debut with, Strikeforce was the offer that made the most sense. I really like what they do with the Challenger Series, giving up-and-comers like me who don't have as much experience a good platform to get some exposure while we get those just starting out fights and kind of cut our teeth. And this way I'm able to really start to build my own name from my first fight on, rather than having to get a bunch of fights that nobody's going to see on the regional circuit before I can kind of make a national scale come up.
But you're going to do this full time? You're going to make a career out of this then?
Yep, that's the plan. I think as long as my body holds up and I continue having fun with it, I'll be doing this.
As long as your body holds up, how old are you?
I'm 28.
That's not old at all for this sport.
No, I just mean it's a tough sport, and between the training and the competition, there's lots of opportunity to get banged up, and there's a lot of extra wear and tear. So, barring any major injuries or anything like that, I'll be doing this for years to come.
So, are you hoping someday you will end up in the UFC?
I got no plans there. I'm really happy with Strikeforce. I think there's there's a long ladder ahead of me to climb, and you know, to win a title in Strikeforce would be something that would be a huge kind of dream come true.
Cool. And is there anybody out there right now in Strikeforce that you really like the matchup and you want to fight?
You know, most of their recognizable names I think are still a couple of levels above me skill-wise, but you know, I'm a big fan of watching guys like Josh Thompson and Melendez mix it up, and to be able to someday test myself against them would be great. You know, I think that's a couple of years off. One of these days, hopefully, I'll get one of those guys.
And what do you like most about training out here in Vegas and this facility?
I mean, this facility I think is the best in the world. It's huge. It's got all the equipment, all the facility that you need to get a workout in, and it's also got some of the best training partners around. I think we really have a good, tight-knit group of coaches and fighters training here. We all work hard together to make each other better, and you know, just that kind of team atmosphere paired with a world-class facility every day.
All right. And as far as Strikeforce goes, what do you like most about their organization? I like a lot of the moves they're making. They're really making a push this year with the heavyweight Grand Prix to kind of get the promotion's name out there, and then the fact that they're using the Challenger Series to kind of try and groom their own stars in-house rather than trying to pluck guys from other promotions that are, you know, washed out or whatever else to get people watching. I just like that they're doing kind of a homegrown approach. And, you know, going back to a little bit of pride stuff with those tournaments.
Yeah, that's fun. People get excited about that, and it's, you know, the first show is any indication it's going to be a great tournament, and hopefully they'll do more at other weights.
Right. And, you know, Fedor just lost the other night. A lot of people are out there trying to make the point that because Fedor lost, Strikeforce is going down. Well, obviously you're on the inside, so what do you think about Strikeforce as a whole business model? I think it's a strong thing, and people just don't know what they're talking about when they say that stuff.
Yeah, I don't think you can say one fighter losing is going to do a whole promotion, no matter who it is or what promotion we're talking about. Particularly in that case, I think if anything, that's a boost for Strikeforce because Antonio Silva's been fighting for them for a long time, and is someone that they've kind of gone a long way to promote, and so to have him come out and beat a recognized legend like Fedor has been a big deal in so many other promotions before.
Right. I always said that's what Dana White should have done. They should have brought Fedor into the UFC and exposed him, you know?
Yeah.
Put him up against their best guys, and they would have beat him, I think. Your dad was supposed to fight him at one point. That was a big fight. Everybody wanted that fight.
It would have been huge, and I think they did try and make that happen. It just it seems like this team is pretty tough to negotiate with, and everybody knows the UFC plays hardball and it's tough to negotiate with too as well. But I think if anything, Fedor getting beat sets up interesting storylines for, you know, another comeback fight for him, and how do they match him up? Does he drop in weight? And then you know, you also kind of build Antonio Silva into a star and perform well in the tournament, which I think he's got as good a chance as anyone to win that thing. Then that's good for business.
All right. And does it ever bother you when people try to compare you to your dad or match you up? Do you feel like you have to live up to his legend at all?
No, I mean, I think people expect a lot of things from me, and they pay a lot more close attention to me than they would if it wasn't for him. But I don't resent that at all, and I knew that's what I was getting into when I started doing this. One of the reasons that I really took my time making the decision to get into fighting is because I knew that would always be an issue.
Right. So is that something that you really care about doing? Like, do you really want to live up to that kind of legend and be that good someday?
I think that's just setting too lofty a goal. You can't make a goal that huge and that long term and expect to meet it. I'm just focusing on the short term and being the best fighter that I can be and kind of making my own name in the sport.
All right. Any final thoughts or anything anybody you want to give a shout out to or anything like that?
Just as always, a big thank you to the whole team here at Xtreme Couture and to my management team for making all this stuff possible.
All right. Well, good luck in the fight. I'm sure you won't need it.